The following production is produced by the State University of New York College at Oneonta.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Red Dragon Sports. I'm your host, Geoff Hassard, Assistant Director of Athletics and Sports Information Director here at SUNY Oneonta. And on tonight's episode, we're going to talk cross country as we prepare to host the Atlantic Region Championship meet for the NCAA on Saturday, November 13th. So stay tuned after the break where I'll be joined by tonight's first guest, head men's and women's cross country coach Angelo Basilico.
What makes D3 special is the ability to participate in my team and within the broader community.
The perfect ending to a perfect season.
Being a D3 student athlete has completely expanded my life.
I learned how to lead. I really found a voice.
What time is it?
It's more about the experience rather than just a sport itself.
Without the experience of being a Division III student athlete, I wouldn't be the person who I am today.
NCAA Division III. Discover, develop, dedicate.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me now in studio is head men's and women's cross country coach Angelo Basilico.
How you doing, Geoff?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
All right. We just want to let everybody know that you are a SUNY Oneonta graduate.
That's right.
Class of?
2008.
2008. So it hasn't been that long that you've been away.
Nope.
But during that time, because we're going to talk a little bit about where you were and where you came and how you got back to Oneonta. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your undergraduate experience?
Sure. My undergraduate experience was great. Came in as a biology major. I was looking for a school I could really do that and have great opportunity. Pre-physical therapy was kind of the route I came in originally, so did that. Also was looking for a program where I can compete. Met Coach LaPiccolo, loved the program, loved the college, knew this was the place for me. Got here, and along the way just started, as the years went on, really fell in love with the sport. Had the opportunity to get into coaching after I graduated, and so kind of went into there from that, and I've been loving it so far. So
now you came here as a cross-country runner.
Yes, sir.
And you finished as a track, well, we would say a field athlete because you were a thrower for us.
Yep.
What kind of a transition was that?
No, certainly. I came in and again met Coach LaPiccolo, came in with the opportunity to run cross country. Was average, and as kind of the years went on, I fell into the body that I'm into today. And Coach Schmidt at the time, who was the head track and field coach at that time, said, "Hey, let's try a new event. Let's try the weight and hammer throw." Pursued that, and it actually worked out pretty well for me. Love distance running, love the sport of cross country, but certainly as an athlete, having the opportunity to transition to a thrower worked out a little bit better for me. I was able to score in the SUNY and be competitive, so certainly the right choice. Glad that someone was kind of watching out and saying, "Hey, maybe there's something better for you, a different route." And I certainly was hesitant at first, as I'm sure most people would be, but looking back on it, it was a great choice. So.
Now, certainly. Track and cross country. I mean, cross country maybe not so much, but with track, it certainly is a sport where you can find a place for somebody if they have some kind of skill or potential.
Certainly.
So when Coach Schmidt at the time kind of looked at you and said, "Well, you're pretty fit, cross country. You enjoy the running and the exercise and the fitness and all that." But when he looked and said, "Hey, how about this?" So certainly, is that one philosophy that you have with? Because you're also the associate track and field coach.
Yep.
Is that kind of a philosophy within the program to be able to maybe find like a diamond in the rough?
Absolutely.
So to speak?
Whenever you're recruiting athletes, that's generally what I'm looking for. I'm looking for athletes, not necessarily someone that's going to fit into one specific mold. Sometimes someone comes in and they're a real fast sprinter. They're great at the 100, and that's what they're going to do for you week in and week out, and that's where they stick. But other times you can see someone with a potential another event. I mean, we have people in the program now who are successful both in the high jump and the shot put. So we do have people do multiple events. Certainly a big priority for us in track and field is getting to the SUNY championships and scoring as many points as possible. So sometimes your best athletes are able to do events that they haven't traditionally done, but we try new things, we teach them new things. Certainly at Division III level, you get that opportunity to try something new and be competitive at it. So when we're recruiting people for our program, we're looking for the best athletes, and a lot of times you can certainly find that diamond in the rough.
Right. Now, cross country. Talk a little bit about our men's and women's program this year. On the women's side, I guess we could say we're still relatively young. We brought in we have a large sophomore class. We brought in quite a few freshmen this year. Of course, our two front runners are, a junior and a senior, Celia Alterio and Lauren Burnetto. How does the women's team kind of fit together, and how have they been doing this year?
Well, certainly. I have a great senior leader on the women's side with Celia Alterio. Pretty consistently been our second runner throughout the whole season. Junior Lauren Burnetto up there has been our top runner for the season, and they do great things for us as leaders. But I have had to look to some of our underclassmen to step up as well. Lindsay Romaine, who will also be joining us tonight as a sophomore, and she's part of a big underclassmen group there, and she's competitive for us. She's pretty much consistently been our third runner. So there is that unusual need for asking those sophomores to step up. And right away in the beginning of our season, I made that clear that we're a young team. We're going to need some of these younger athletes to step up athletically and as leaders in the team. Certainly people have risen to that, and Lindsay's certainly someone who has done both for us real well. Yeah. So I'm pretty fortunate to have some really good leaders.
Now, what about the freshmen? Who are
certainly
some of our top freshmen?
Danielle Kennedy is a freshman for us, and Allison Riley is another freshman female for us. And they've both been real competitive for us, pretty consistently been in our top 7, both of them. Certainly great athletes that are going to develop into excellent athletes down the road. I'm real excited for them to kind of get to the track season and keep moving forward. They've come a long way already in a few months here, and I'm really
so now when they work out, is that the group? Do they push each other? How do they go about bringing it all together?
Certainly, cross country is an interesting sport because there's an individual component to it where you got to get yourself to the finish line as fast as possible, but we try to find ways to make it as much a team sport as possible. At the end of the day, it's about those 5 top runners and what their points equal, and maybe that 6th and 7th for some displacement there. So there really needs to be a team aspect. It starts with us at practice, where we run in certain groups, different athletes, based on what their fitness levels are. So we kind of train together, we push each other. Those leaders that I talked about are the ones that are motivating the athletes to work harder in practice. When we get into races, sometimes I'll cue them, hey, get up there 20 meters ahead as one of your teammates, just get up there with them and they'll push you and keep going faster. So we train together, we race together, sometimes they live together. So it's a really good tight-knit team.
Right. Now, the men's team. The men's team is kind of a little, we do have quite a few upper-class runners mixed in there with some obviously some very talented younger runners.
Yep.
How does that dynamic work? We're going to have, senior Tim Greenberg on the show. How has he been as a leader, and how has that, brought the whole squad together?
Tim's also a great leader for us, senior Oneonta guy, so local guy, been in our program for 4 years, and he's been great to have. Our 2 top runners are sophomores academically. Nick Madison, another Oneonta guy, top runner for us pretty much consistently all season, is a sophomore. And we do have a first-year runner for us, but a sophomore, a transfer student in John Longo. So he's another sophomore. He's pretty much been our second runner for the entire season. So our kind of our top athletes for us are underclassmen, but Tim's been in there, top 5, mixing it in, keep pushing those 3, 4, 5 runners to better times all season. He's always the first one to speak up and call someone out if they're not on their game, keep everybody motivated. He's always the most enthusiastic, and he really pushes the guys to be better. Again, just another person that helps me do a great job. They just push each other to always work hard. So.
Right, because we certainly we buy into a very, I don't know, would you say regimented training program? But you have to be. I mean, in order to succeed and kind of do the things in cross country, because yes, it is an individual sport, you have to really kind of do things in a certain way. Now, you've been able to, through your undergraduate experience and being exposed to Matt LaPiccolo as a coach, and then now you're coaching together. You went out to the University of Redlands, where former coach Mike Schmidt went to, and you got a chance to work with him. Just kind of maybe to broaden your spectrum. What kinds those experiences and how those have fit into what you do now with the program? Certainly.
Well, first and foremost, the first thing I always say is I've been really lucky to have some real good mentors in my in kind of my development here into a young coach, and so I've had a lot of great opportunities. Certainly being at Redlands has given me a lot of perspective. Being at a different institution has been great. I think taking a couple years away from Oneonta to have a new perspective on the sport and see how other places do it has been real great. I could take those new ideas and bring it into our program here. Certainly a structured sport, and cross country is different in the sense that we really just have to be on our game at the end of the season. Everything we do up front is really just preparation for that. And again, one of the things I told to our teams in the beginning is that we're going to be our best at the end of the season. So the coaches that I've had the opportunity to talk to, the clinics that I've been able to go to, all the professional conferences have given me knowledge to really know how to prepare athletes over time to be their best at the end of a season, and I think we are. So
the individual sports, because we can equate it to swimming.
Certainly.
You want to be peaking at the right time, so there's tapering involved and how you train throughout the season, because we actually stagger our meets. We don't bring everybody to one meet. We might keep some people home and say, hey, you're having an off week, just go, do like whatever, 10, 15, whatever miles, that you have for their long runs. How does that fit into the overall schedule? Because, of course, we start in August.
Yep.
And we don't end until November, which is pretty long. It's about 15 weeks, 16
Absolutely.
weeks. How do you fit that together so that we are peaking at the right time?
Well, certainly. First thing we do is when we build a schedule and we kind of look at the meets that we think some of the best teams are going to be at, we put some real big, high-profile meets in our schedule. And we also look for some real smaller, low-key meets to kind of find a balance for the athletes. And then as we take each meet 1 week at a time, every weekend I ask myself which athletes need to go to this meet in order to have more success in their season. What do they need right now this weekend? Do they need a race? And sometimes they need a race. Some of our athletes have raced at every single meet that's been on our schedule so far. Some of them only a few. So take it 1 week at a time, see how the training's going, and see what we think we need for every single individual. So try to keep every person there as an individual, and pick what's going to be best for them.
And I think that's because when we look at some of our meet results, and we get to see those freshmen, just go and run, and then they get to be the top 7 for kind of like a day or whatever.
Absolutely.
I mean, so you think that down the road helps build, because all those people are just going to backfill into your leader group, as we would say.
Certainly. If you never have an opportunity to be in front of a race as a freshman as you're developing, then when the time comes and you really are at that level, you don't know what it's like to do that, and you've never done it before. So we try to go to some of those smaller meets where we could bring some of those athletes that are still developing, and hopefully in the next couple of years will become our top runners as they grow older and mature.
Right.
And so we have to kind of give them that opportunity. So we're lucky enough to be able to do that here.
So now, recruiting-wise, you graduated from the college, so who else speaks better about SUNY Oneonta than someone who actually went here? Do you look at that as a clear advantage for you over other coaches in our conference and maybe in our region?
Absolutely. I let all of the people that I'm looking at, all my prospective student athletes, know right up front that it certainly says a lot about a place when someone's here, has a great experience, leaves to go elsewhere, and then when the opportunity arises, they choose to come back. And I let a lot of the students that I'm looking at know that, tell them that I had such a great time here that I wanted to be back and I wanted to be part of the program again. So that's certainly something to let them know. It's an excellent education at a great value. I got to have that and not leave with a lifetime of student debt, so certainly it's something that we sell when we sell our programs. And I truly believe that athletes that come here are going to get some of the best facilities and some of the best coaching possible at our level. So that's certainly what I've...
In both cross-country and track.
Absolutely.
Now, let's just talk a little bit about the Atlantic Region Championship meet.
Sure.
Saturday, November 13th, we're expecting huge crowds. It's mass hysteria sometimes, right?
Thornton Park's going to be crazy.
It'll be, and that kind of a large meet, you've been to them. The closest for me is running in them, not really actually covering them or whatever. But can you just let us know, Thornton Park, right out in the town of New York, town of Oneonta, whatever, and how, what are you looking forward to?
Well, certainly just being able to give our athletes an opportunity to run a regional championship on their home course is awesome. Not a lot of athletes get that opportunity, and so we're really excited to be able to host it. It's certainly going to be the biggest meet Thornton Park's ever hosted.
Right.
So certainly planning every detail out to make sure it runs smoothly. Our pre-regional meet was great. So it's just excellent. And traditionally, we're not always able to travel all of the developing athletes to the regional championship since we're only able to race our top 7. So now having it at home gives those athletes the opportunity to be part of the regional experience as well. So there's just so many goods that come with it. It's great exposure for our program. It's a great course. The pre-regional race teams ran real fast. It's a fast course. So I think the runners love our course, and certainly to be able to host at home is always great. Home field advantage.
We're looking at, what, 40 teams in our region?
At least,
300 athletes per race?
Just about, yeah.
So there's going to be, between the men and women, now the men's race starts at 11.
Yep.
The women will go off at 12. We expect, again, spectators, there could be 1,000, 2,000 people just lined up along the course.
Absolutely.
Get there early.
Please do.
Yes.
Get your parking spot.
Yes, please get there early and get your parking spot. And just so people do know, we will be charging $5 for parking. Is that what we're charging?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just so people know so that they can get that out there. But we certainly want to wish you good luck in that meet.
Thank you very much.
Because we're all going to be there watching and cheering because it's going to be an exciting time. And thanks for coming by this evening.
Thanks for having me, Geoff.
And good luck. Right. I'd like to thank Angelo Pasilico for coming by this evening. And after the break, I'll be joined by senior Tim Greenberg.
WUOW 104.7 FM is the region's premier radio station, offering award-winning programming from National Public Radio and Pacifica Radio Networks. giving you the chance to become more informed about the arts, information, and entertainment from around the country and around the world. WUOW is your community radio station. Join us and support the sound.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me now in studio is a senior cross-country runner and track athlete, Tim Greenberg. Welcome to the show, Tim.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a local guy, grew up here in Oneonta?
Yes, I did. Yeah, like you said, local guy. Grew up in Oneonta, went to Oneonta High School. History major here. Kind of focused on the Civil War area, so going to kind of try to do that. But kind of got some passions around what my parents have been doing, so technology, information with computers with my dad, and kind of music kind of deal. So just kind of see where that takes me, and having a good time. So
well, certainly. What's it like to go to the hometown school now? Of course, your dad graduated from Oneonta. He's been working here for 30 years, maybe.
Yeah, a long time.
But he's awesome. Computer technology. I'm always calling him, finding out what the latest stuff is for computers. But what's it like going to the hometown college?
It was kind of interesting when I made my decision to come here because, a lot of people, the kids come to the high school, they're all like, you don't want to stay in the hometown, you don't want to go here. And everybody, I want to leave Oneonta, I want to go away, I want to get out of here. So I was kind of, wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, but knew it was a great college. When I came in here, I came in for chemistry and it had a great program, and it was just it was a great school. I knew a lot about it. My dad was there. So it wasn't so much staying home, but it was just, it's a college that's here, why don't I use it?
Right.
So I stayed here, and you get a lot of little critique from some people that are like, you stayed at home, but there's a lot of kids that have come back and transferred here. So I think that it's good to show this college is on the rise, and it's not really something to be ashamed of. Right.
Now, certainly, now you came in really wanting to play soccer, right? Now in high school, what sports did you play? I played
soccer in the fall, and then I actually swam until my sophomore year, and then I ran track, indoor and outdoor track from then on.
Right. Now, so your goal was probably to come here, maybe play on the soccer team, and then maybe run indoor and outdoor track?
Yeah, that was actually one of the main reasons I came here. I was looking at places up north, looking at St. Lawrence and stuff, and I didn't really know anything about the track and field program here, but I'd been friends with Ian. I'd known Ian my whole life. I'd gone to his camps and stuff. Yeah. So when he told me he would give me a shot to try out here, I came here and I tried out, and then that's when I got in contact with Matt. Matt actually came to one of the soccer camps that I was at, and came to me and he said, do you want to be on the team? Do you want to do this and stuff? And I talked to him about it, and he'd been following my high school career, didn't really know a lot about it, so I kind of filled him in and got to meet him at the camp, talked to him about it. He was very open about the program. He really brought it to my attention that he had kind of taken it, because it hadn't existed. He'd taken it, he brought it forward, and told me a lot of stuff I didn't know about it. So while I came here for soccer, it was nice to know that Matt was always right there behind me saying, if soccer doesn't work out, I'm here for cross, I'm here for track, you can do this, and he was very supportive. And when I decided to switch over to what I was going to be good at, what I was going to be at running, Matt was right there every step of the way.
Right. Now, so it's actually turned out to be a pretty good decision for you. To be able to, because you obviously had the fitness from soccer, to be able to run cross country, and you've also done very well in our track and field program. And of course, you got 1 year remaining. As we transition into indoor track and that kind of stuff, your 4-year experience in cross country, would you consider it? What would you talk?
I would say interesting.
Yeah.
Because obviously I didn't do cross country in high school, so to come here and kind of start to do cross country and kind of get the feel for it was kind of like my growth would be similar to the growth of the program. I came in as a freshman. There was only 5 or 6 other guys on the team. We had a big recruiting class. One senior. We've been graduating for the past 2 years, and then with Travis and Nick Pampina were the 2 that graduated last year. So it was the first time we really graduated that many. But we have a big class, so the program's kind of grown. And going from something that was so small to something that was so big, really I think taught a lot of the guys on the team to work for it.
Yeah.
Because we came in under the radar. You came in, you're not a big team. We've never been ranked in the region. We've never really won anything. And then my freshman year, to be 3rd in SUNY and to be 3rd in ECAC, and to see Matt so excited and to be like, okay, we can do this. No one had said that's what we should have done. No, right. I didn't come here and having Matt say, we need to be 3rd in SUNY, we need to be 3rd in ECACs. He was just, run, let's get better and run. And the leadership from Alex Grout kind of pulled everything together. In the freshman class, we came in, we wanted to win, and we did it. And it was like, it's kind of set the ball rolling, so to speak, to get everybody, kind of keep the motivation, try to drive it through for my 4 years here.
Now, as you look forward to the rest of your senior year, of course, now we have Nick Madison, who's a sophomore from Oneonta. Was he just wanted to come here?
Yeah.
Was Oneonta first choice?
It's Nick Madison. He's kind of, he wasn't really sure about anything. He's very good at running. So, I mean,
yes, he is.
He's a lot better than me at running. So he kind of spent more time looking into the running aspect of colleges. So, at least from when I got to talk to him, I tried every year. I was like, you got to come here, you got to come here. And he was like, well, I'm looking here, I'm looking there. You're looking at this. And I heard Cortland, and I was like, oh, don't go to Cortland.
Yeah,
but but he came here, and it's definitely worked out well. It's a very, very solid improvement to the team.
Yeah, I mean, he's been our top runner at every meet, I believe, this year. And as a sophomore, he's won a couple meets. So as you go, your last part of your year, what are you hoping to accomplish? Any personal goals?
Well, I'd really like to send the team to nationals, and I'd really like to, and aside from that, whether we go or not, I'd really like to see somebody from the team qualify individually.
Right.
And obviously to go, it's going to take a couple of us qualifying individually. But for this to be the year to send the team to nationals and, to say, we had a coaching change, we've lost some guys, but we're back and we're still doing this. And, to have Angelo as a new coach and to show the conference, the region that we send a team to nationals, we're still growing. We might lose our seniors, we might lose our guys, but look, we're going to nationals. That would be, good because, not because just we went, but for this team and then for the teams to come.
Right.
To next year, to have those guys already have that as their standard.
Right.
That we went to nationals last year, so that's what we should be aiming for this year. We should go again.
Right.
And just to kind of move up, like that's what I'm thinking now. We got 9th last year, so we need to move up. And to get 5th and to get that at-large bid and to go with it, regionals at your home course, you really can't ask for anything more than that.
Right, and we just want to remind everybody once again that it's Saturday, November 13th. We'll all be there. We'll all be cheering. We'll all be hoping that you guys all have a great day, and hopefully we can get to the top 5. And so we'd like to wish you good luck for the rest of your year, especially in indoor and outdoor track, because we know you certainly have aspirations, and we think you could be a national qualifier for those two sports. So we certainly want to, you got to stay healthy and all that, because I know that injuries can sometimes slow you down. But well, good luck the rest of the year, and thanks for coming by tonight.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank Tim Greenberg for coming by. And after the break, I'll be joined in studio by sophomore cross-country runner Lindsay Romaine.
My pot of gold, your daddy's little girl, till heaven home.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me now in studio is sophomore cross-country runner Lindsay Romaine. Welcome to the show, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Lindsay Romaine. I'm from Holbrook, Long Island. I'm a sophomore.
And you went to?
Sachem North High School.
Sachem North High School, pretty big high school, didn't it?
Yeah.
Did it used to be one bigger high school and they kind of divided it up, or has it always been?
Yeah, it was one high school and they split it to Sachem North and Sachem East.
Now, what are you majoring in here at Oneonta?
Elementary ed.
Elementary education. How are things going with the team so far?
Really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're coming up on kind of the close of the season pretty much. We've got the Atlantic region meet to look forward to in a couple weeks. For yourself, how has it been going in training for you?
Training's been good.
Yeah?
Yeah. We have been weightlifting a lot in the beginning of the season, and it's helping.
Yeah. Do you find you all work out together with the team and everybody's in there?
We run with our groups.
Yeah.
And it works.
Now, as far as now we have Lauren Brunetto and Celia Alterio, a couple of great leaders for us on the team. What's it like to train with them?
They're really good to run with. They help motivate the whole team. They're really good leaders to look up to. And
now, do the younger runners, do you guys look up to them as far as, because they are certain pretty accomplished. Lauren's an All-American in indoor track, but Celia's been like our top runner for the last three years anyway.
Celia always gives us tips to help us improve a little bit, what to eat and when to do certain warm-ups. And Lauren's always there to help us.
Now, as far as when you talk about eating, now, of course, with Coach LaPiccolo that we had on last year, and, of course, Angelo, who will have, who's already, spoken with us about the training program that everybody is involved in. It's really a way of life for everyone on the cross-country team. Can you talk a little bit about some of the things that you do to prepare yourselves for meets and the season?
We try to eat really healthy during the season. We don't eat ice cream, really.
No.
And we do little things like we always ice bath, foam roll.
And that would be part of our, when we get into post workouts for the trainers and things like that. How do they, what kinds of things do you do with them that keep you in good shape? I mean, besides that stuff, I mean, what kind of advice do they give, from the training room?
If you ever have like a little injury or something, they help you to take care of it before it becomes a bigger problem. So.
Yeah. And do they, student athletes, they're pretty serious about their rehab if they have little nagging injuries? Because, of course, runners, I mean, at any time you could get some injury that just kind of pops up, a lot of tendonitis and, your IT band and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so you want to take care of it before it becomes a big problem.
Now, as far as, let's just talk a little bit more about the eating. I know you said no ice cream, which is kind of a drag, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I eat it all the time, and that's, it's... But what other foods would you consider part of the regular training program, for us?
We eat a lot of vegetables.
A lot of
like
vegetables.
Protein after workouts.
Yeah. Now, oats, they say white oats, not good. What's the divvy on oatmeal and that kind of stuff?
We eat oatmeal before our races.
Yeah. And do you find that, how within the framework of the team, I mean, does everybody really buy into that and adhere to those nutritional?
Yeah, we always bring oatmeal to the meets, so we have it for breakfast in the morning at hotels.
Now, do you guys do like during race, after race, post race? What kind of foods do you guys usually?
Before races, we usually have Cliff Bars, like something light before, and after the race, we usually have protein to help recover.
Yeah. Now we have, even though we have Lauren, Celia is our two top runners, and of course you're right in there at number 3 for our top 7, what we would consider people who score for us at meets. And of course, mostly everybody after Celia and Lauren are all sophomores and freshmen. What's that like to be actually part of, I mean, last year you were part of a very large freshman class that we brought in and performed very well for us. Now you're a year older, and we brought in another group of freshmen. What's that like to be a part of kind of that nucleus that once, Celia's gone and you guys have to kind of assume the responsibility of being team leaders? I mean, do you look forward to that?
Yeah, it's a little scary because Celia's always there to keep us in check, but it's good that we have a young group. It'll help us to move forward and get stronger each year.
Now, in the pre-regional meet that we had out at the Fortin Park, which is where we'll host our cross-country regional meet, we came in 9th, top 10. Do we think we can stay there or move up
we hope to
meet?
move up, yeah. We're looking really strong. We've had the best season. I think that we'll do the best we ever have at regionals.
Now, what do you think that would take? I mean, because of course they always talk about, you need to be grouped or bunched, or, I mean, so within your team and the runners who will run that day, I mean, you're going to have to really push each other to kind of stay in that pack. So, I mean, is that something that you're all going to be kind of looking to try and do? I mean, with Celia and Lauren, but you guys are all kind of grouped in there anyway. Is that what you're looking forward to as a group?
Yeah, everybody has to have a good day, and I think we'll do really well. And we always have somebody on the team to run with, so somebody to push the next person. Right.
So now you're looking forward to the end of the season. We certainly wish you good luck and hope you stay healthy as we host the championship weekend or whatever. Should be pretty exciting. Maybe we might get a qualifier and see if we can crack the top 5.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks again for coming by, and good luck for the rest of the season, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. All
right, thanks for coming by. I'd like to thank Lindsay for coming by tonight, and I'd like to thank all my guests of this evening's show, Coach Angelo Pasilico and Senior Tim Greenberg, and we'd like to thank you again for joining us this week on Inside Red Dragon Sports, and we'll see you next Monday evening.